Hey, Dan Meyer here, and today I'm going to talk to you about must-have soft skills for virtual success. So the idea here is that whether you're a virtual assistant working for someone's business, or you're running your business from home, or you just have a lot of your employees that are home-based or working remotely, there's a lot of skills that you need to have to be successful in a virtual workplace. And I'm going to talk about a few of those today that I think are important and that I've seen are key attributes and characteristics of successful virtual staff, as well as businesses that have been very successful having most of their, if not all of their employees working remotely. So you put all that together, you get the idea that there's some certain soft skills that we all need to have working in this virtual space. And the five that stand out the most to me, and I'll go through these each in detail, but at a high level, there's five. The first is you got to have the ability to think strategically, right? You got to plan ahead, good planning. You got to have good communication skills, right? So you got to actually be able to explain what you're doing, what you want other people to do, why you do, what your message is, what your mission is. All this has to be communicated clearly and easily, and you have to do that both verbally, whether it be on a call or a video call, or you have to do it in writing, right? So communication skills. The next is taking initiative. You have to be really good at taking initiative. You can't just wait for things to happen. In the online space where we can't just pop over to someone's cubicle or see somebody at an event, we have to constantly always be taking the initiative to be successful. On the flip side, we have to also be patient, right? So you have to know that some people are super busy. Almost everyone's doing something that they're not used to doing. And we're living in a world that's very, very different than it was only a few weeks ago. So we have to be patient. So you have to be able to not only figure out how to be patient with people and with systems, but with yourself, right? So even though those sound like those are actually opposite characteristics, they're both important, and I'll explain to you how they work together as far as taking initiative and being patient. And the last one is honesty. You have to be honest, and not just honesty like telling the truth, but honest about what you can do, and honest about what you're doing every day, and honest about how hard you're working and what are your ethics that go around what you're trying to do in virtual space. Because again, you don't have somebody that can see you doing things, right? So there's a lot more, just by nature, trust that has to be given to people that are working remotely. So honesty is important. So those are the five soft skills I'm going to talk about in a little more detail. And throughout my experience, and for those of you that know, I've been doing this for about 10 years on my own and working remotely for almost 20 years. Right? When I first started at Wells Fargo back in the late 90s, I was one of the first people that I remember that was able to on a regular basis work remotely because I was a project manager and I was able to do things that didn't really require me to be set to one place. I could work anywhere I could have access to the internet and working on a laptop. And I traveled a lot in business. So I was been working remotely for 25 years. And then when I left Wells Fargo and set up my own business about 10 years ago, I pretty much always done that remotely. I do have an office location. I have used offices, on a regular basis, but most days I work either from home, from a Starbucks, from a hotel, wherever I happen to be at. So I'm working every day, and I've been working every day since I launched my business, but most of those times I'm not working from an office. So for my success, and for not just my success, but my team's success, and not just my team's success working for me, but working for our clients, it's all based virtually. I have 100 virtual staff. I have people working on both sides of the planet. I have people working in Asia, people working here in the United States, and we work for clients all over the world. So basically, we've gotten really good at working virtually. And as I've developed my business and been able to be more successful, I've again identified these characteristics that are super important. So if you're trying to set up a virtual team, if you're hiring a virtual assistant, if you're trying to free up your workforce to work more from a virtual or remote perspective, if you're looking to get into your own business and launch your own business where you're primarily be doing virtual, these are the things that you have to have. You have to have the ability to plan and strategize, right? That's number one. A great virtual assistant is well-versed in project management tools that help them plan and strategize. Apps like Trello, Monday, and Asana are apps that allow you to be able to manage your time effectively and to build out project plans and to kind of think more strategically. Very key if you want VAs to kind of be autonomous and do things in your business without you having to micromanage them. You want to have ones that have skills in those apps. Likewise, if you're looking to grow your business or expand what you're doing operationally from home, using those apps are really effective. If you have the ability to collaborate on one of these tools that allows you to kind of keep deadlines in mind, collaborate on different projects, being able to track each other's progress, really super important. And if you're looking to delegate something to a virtual team, the best thing to delegate when it comes to strategy is social media content calendars, right? Planning your content calendar and your social media towards a strategy so that you post similar things at similar times of the day, similar times of the week, right? What I mean by that is like you should dedicate a certain day for a certain topic and a certain time and post consistently, so your audience gets used to seeing things. For example, every Tuesday I launch a new tech talk, right? Every Tuesday is a Tech Tuesday for me. Every Thursday we do throwback stuff where I talk about things that I've done in the past, my business has done in the past that we're still doing now, or things that we learned from, right? Every Friday we do funny memes. Every Monday we talk about upcoming events. So that's what we do to manage our content. And my people that manage my content for me know when to post. We know our data that tells us the peak time for us to post certain things. For example, we know that most of our audience, their free time when they're surfing is usually in the late afternoon before the end of the business day. So we want to hit them with our social media content or email marketing or our newsletter at that time when they're most likely to be able to be in a place to get our message. We've looked at the data and that tells us when we should do things. So the content calendar should be something that a VA could manage. The second skill that you have to be successful in a virtual space is exceptional communication skills. It's really, really challenging to be effective if you can't communicate well. Now, part of the reason why I built my business in the Philippines predominantly is because most Filipinos take American-style English in school, and they learn American-style grammar. And a lot of Filipinos have worked for American companies that have businesses in the Philippines. For example, most of the call center traffic in the world goes to Manila or into the Philippines. If you call 1-800-whatever, you have a better than 50-50 chance of getting a Filipino call center agent. So that environment has created a huge talent pool of people that have great communication skills. In the United States as well, you can find parts of the US where people are able to work virtually and successful, that have good English, that have good communication skills, and you can tap into that. And the bottom line though is whether you're hiring people from abroad or people from in the US, you want to think about people that communicate well, right? People that know how to make a point, people that know how to be succinct, people that know how to stay on message, people that know good grammar, people that have good typing skills, that don't have a lot of spelling errors, that know how to do grammar checks. These kind of things we don't think about a lot of times when we interview people in person. Even on Skype or Zoom, we talk to people and we get a sense of their communication skills, but we're not sure how we're getting them as far as their presentation skills or their written skills. We should be checking that out. We should think about how we want them to be able to communicate to our clients, to our customers, to our audience in our voice, so that they can speak like we speak when it comes to how we look at our business. These are important things to think about. So when you're looking to pick a VA to do something in your business, as far as communication skills, they should be adept at doing things like web conferencing on Zoom or Skype. They should have experience in writing blog posts or writing articles or gathering content and turning it into you in some kind of report that is easy to understand. So those are kind of things that you want to assess when you're hiring a VA. You also want to think about what you can delegate to a virtual staff when it comes to communication skills. Updating your CRM, doing data entry on new client leads, doing customer follow-up by email or setting up appointments, doing things that keep communication going. You can delegate a lot of those things to virtual staff.